My first encounter with textiles was actually when I was very young. One of our family rituals was visiting relatives on Sunday afternoons. And on one particular Sunday we called to a relative's house, and one of my older cousins was there, and she was putting the finishing touches to a garment that she had only started that weekend, and she was planning on going out that night. I was fascinated. I could see all the sewing paraphernalia on the kitchen table. I could see the sewing machine, scraps of fabric, paper pattern, stuff like that. And I think I was hooked. That's when I was hooked there and then. My first encounter with print was when I was in my final year in college. I found it very difficult to find fabric for a collection I was actually working on at the time. And the college I was in didn't have screen printing facilities. So with the help of a lecturer from the Crawford College of Art and Design, I got the opportunity to do a student exchange with a fine art student, whereby the fine art student wanted to learn how to do a module on pattern drafting, and I then in turn was able to screen print onto fabric, so I was able to print links of fabric for my final year collection. Essentially, I'm a screen printer. I print onto fabric. I create bespoke upholstery fabrics, either screen printed or digitally printed. And I either collaborate with somebody or I actually do my own collections. This piece is actually called Handmade, and it's spelt handmade, M-A-I-D. It was inspired by a length of hemp fabric I came across at a textile antique fair. The hemp had visible alterations in it which I found aesthetically beautiful. The chair is also a homage to women who created beautiful patchwork quilts out of useless scraps of cloth, creating something beautiful that was never really meant to be put on display. I always tend to work with a theme. After researching the different directions I'll work on any given theme, I'll then start sketching, or I might just take some photographs. And I combine all these images and I'll scan them into the computer and I'll play around with them. So my work really is a combination of traditional skills and computer manipulation. I'm always drawn to themes which include my natural landscape and native Irish animals. For some reason or another, I always seem to include animals in my fabric designs, and I also like to experiment with scale. This is a two-seater sofa, and it's based on a body of work that was initially created for an exhibition called Domestic Landscapes. The fabric is a response to local landscape which is constantly changing, and this is a great source of inspiration. You'll notice here how I love to combine imagery with very simple abstract marks. One of the advantages in being a member of the Cork Textile Network is that you meet lots of inspiring textile artists. One of them is Mary Palmer. I've actually collaborated with her, I'd say at least 5 or 6 times at this stage. Again, I've collaborated with a felt maker. Her name is Christina Jasmine Roser, and I've also collaborated with another member, Carmel Creener. She in fact does the same as me. She prints and stitches, but again, it's just so much nicer to work with another textile artist. By collaborating, you're learning all the time. So, and you can see her restrictions when she's working with felt. I'm asking her, can we do this and can we do that? And she's saying, actually we can't because. So you really are learning a lot all the time. When you're making pieces for exhibition or whatever, you're essentially working by yourself under normal circumstances. So it's nice to work with other people.